Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. Today we're discussing the newest album from the Canadian indie rock group Said the Whale. Their latest project is entitled Cascadia, and this is their 6th studio release. Said the Whale are a rock band from Vancouver, British Columbia. They're made up of 4 members, and they won the Juno Award back in 2011 for Breakthrough Group of the Year. I've really only heard a couple of their singles over the years, including I Love You, I Will Follow You. I would list a third if I knew it off the top of my head. Regardless, I am now checking out one of their albums from front to back, and I've listened to Cascadia many times now. So many times I didn't know if I was going to be doing a formal review of it, just because I'm speechless. This thing is amazing. It's super early in the year still, but I think Cascadia has a pretty solid chance at being one of the best albums of the year, and I know that's a pretty bold statement to be making. But really, the track listing on this record is stacked with one great indie gem after another. We get a major focus on nature. The lyrics are heavily centered around the great outdoors, specifically the Cascadian bioregion, which in simple terms is a proposed territory based on similar climate, season, plants, animals, all with the ultimate goal of harmonizing and working towards this sustainable ecosystem in which we inhabit. Cut the science, it's West Coast Canada, it is Northwest Coast US. We know who lives there, it's the hipsters, and we know what they're plotting. They're just trying to get us to buy their vinyl. Hence the propaganda on this album called Record Shop. I kid, of course, I actually do collect vinyl myself, so call me a hipster and I will love you still. Getting into Cascadia though, Wake Up is one of the singles, it's the opening track, and it's a beautiful way to begin the record. I play it in the morning when I wake up, obviously, but that doesn't stop you from listening to it at night. It can just be listened to at any point of the day. It's going to be beautiful. The lyrics are an ode to the North Shore Mountains near Vancouver. There's a lot of gorgeous imagery that comes through along with the title track. The melody is incredibly catchy. In fact, a lot of the melodies on this project are catchy, including the second track, UnAmerican, which is a straight-up pop song written to appease Kevin Drew of the Broken Social scene. My current favorite song, though, is called Moonlight, and this one has one of the most fulfilling and full-of-life choruses I've heard in years. Level Best is another track on here that was released in late 2018. Such a personal declaration of love that ended up being one of my top 50 songs of the year. And in the context of the album, it only makes more sense when it's complemented by similarly themed songs Love Don't Ask and Old Soul Young Heart. The former being very thought-provoking, proposing that we should be motivated by love instead of greed. The latter being a song about lead singer Ben's inspirations, singer-songwriter Dan Mangan, and his own father. So lyrically speaking, Cascadia is very close to a masterpiece. It's cohesive, it's smart, it's focused, it's not only personal to the artist, but also to the listener. However, looking at the musicality and the instrumentation, again, a lot of it here is very commendable and praiseworthy. The drum performances from Brad Connor on the tracks Record Shop and Moonlight are incredibly tight and showing some decent technical ability. I mean, we're not talking about blast beats here, this is indie folk after all, so if you can keep that in mind, you can still be impressed with what you're hearing here, and it doesn't distract from the mix either. The track Broken Man feels like a cover of something that Fleet Foxes would put out. The vocals are harmonious, the acoustic guitar chugs along with great chemistry, along with rhythm and dynamics which match the playing of the drums and bass. On top of this, the best vocal performance comes on a song called Love Always, another one of my favorites. The cries in the chorus and at the end of the bridge not only hit it out of the park, but again, the lyrics here are referencing a lot of the symbols threaded through this album, including trees, the moon, the sunlight. Even the closing track, Gamir Island Green, although one of the more solemn and stripped back cuts on the record, I still love the sentiment of comparing humans to the land on which we live, overflowing with life and love, as if the soil is actually nurturing us. However, the record kind of ends awkwardly just because of the short nature of the closing track. I feel like if an instrumental or solo were glued onto the end of the runtime, it would have made it a bit more interesting and intriguing, but it's still just one of the little nitpicky things I can say about this album. As for the sound of the record, I love the laid-back mid-tempo feel to the title track, which is beautifully juxtaposed to the fervent drumming and guitar strumming on a song, Shame, which in itself is a song that plays with the loud, soft dynamics. As far as influences go, Cascadia is a project I would compare to newer style Death Cab for Cutie, the Kents, the Strumbellas. It's a passionate and profound listen rooted in lyrics that are relatable to the general population, but also personal to the individual. It's a fun and memorable record, and I'm loving it. I'm feeling a 9 out of 10. Let me know what you think of the new Said the Whale record. I can't recommend it enough, so sound off down below in the comments, leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town, and as always, have a rockin' day.